Welcome to The Explainer. Let's jump right into the future of India's car market. Okay, let's get into it. 2026 is shaping up to be a massive year for anyone buying a new car. So, what's everyone going to be driving? Well, it all comes down to three huge trends. Let's break them down. First up, the SUV craze isn't slowing down. In fact, it's pretty much taking over every single segment. From small city SUVs to giant family ones, there's going to be an option for pretty much everyone. And this is a big deal. Toyota's jumping into the super competitive compact space with its rise. In the full-size arena, you've got new heavy hitters like the Kia Sorento and the MG Majester. All right, our second big trend? Hybrid tech is no longer niche. It's becoming the new normal. And you can see that diversification right here. It's an exciting mix of engine tech for buyers. And get this, even the undisputed king, the Fortuner, is getting a mild hybrid to boost its performance. Popular models like the Elevate and Seltos are getting in on the action with new hybrid options too. Our third major shift, while EVs are officially moving from a niche thing to the mainstream. Tata's really leading the charge, bringing back the legendary Sierra name as a premium EV. The key number here, an expected range of around 500 kilometers. That makes it a legit long-distance EV. And the Maruti Toyota partnership is bringing EVs to the masses with the e-Vitara and e-Bella. And finally, 2026 is also about some absolute icons making a comeback. This is pretty cool. And honestly, no comeback is more hyped than the Renault Duster. This thing was a total game changer. The all-new version gets modern turbo engines, and yep, it keeps that awesome all-wheel drive option. So what's the bottom line? Well, 2026 is all about more choice and more tech than ever before. Which leaves just one question for you. As the Indian car scene gets more exciting than ever.
So let's talk about the Indian car market. Because the year 2026 isn't just going to be another busy year. It's shaping up to be a full-blown revolution. We're talking about this incredible wave of new models, new tech, and new rivalries that are set to completely change the game for anyone looking to buy a car.
Okay, just to get your head around the sheer scale of what's coming, look at this number. We're expecting more than 35, that's right, 35 new or seriously updated cars to hit the streets in 2026 alone. This isn't just a handful of launches, it's like the floodgates are opening and it's going to completely reshape what's out there for us at pretty much every price point.
So, to make sense of this massive shift, we've broken it all down into 5 key themes. We'll kick off with why this is such a revolutionary year. Then we'll dive into the absolute dominance of the SUV. After that, we'll cover the rise of electric and hybrid power, look at the dramatic return of some iconic names, and, most importantly, what all of this actually means for you.
Right, so what is the big deal about 2026? Well, it's basically the ultimate powertrain showdown. For the first time ever, you've got petrol, diesel, every kind of hybrid, and full-on electric models all launching at the same time. This isn't just friendly competition, it's an all-out war for your attention and your money.
Now let's get into the biggest, most dominant trend out there, the unstoppable rise of the SUV. But here's what's different in 2026. The category is no longer one size fits all. It's splitting off, it's specializing like we've never seen before.
And what's so interesting here is how the market is splitting to serve, well, pretty much every possible need. On one side, you've got these compact city-focused models designed for zipping through traffic and easy parking. And then on the other side, you've got these massive 3-row SUVs arriving, built for long highway cruises and just owning the road. The market is literally stretching at both ends. And the variety is just staggering. It's not just about size anymore. We're seeing a ton of new crossovers, a flood of new 7-seaters, and major updates for bestsellers like the Taygun and the Brezza. And get this, they're getting features that used to be only for luxury cars, like advanced safety systems or ADAS. Plus, global heavy hitters like the Corolla Cross are finally landing here in India. Okay, let's move on to the next big shift, electrification. 2026 is really the year where both all-electric and hybrid tech go mainstream. And they're not just niche options anymore. They're coming with practical, family-friendly cars that are directly challenging the long-held dominance of petrol and diesel. And this just illustrates perfectly the kind of options that are hitting the mass market. Look at these numbers. We're talking about real-world ranges of around 400 to 500 kilometers at really competitive prices. These aren't just tiny city cars anymore. They're becoming genuinely practical choices for families. It's a huge deal.
Now, you're going to be hearing a lot about hybrids, so let's quickly break down the two main types. You've got mild hybrids, which basically give the engine a little electric boost to save some fuel. But then you have strong hybrids, which are becoming way more common, and they can actually run on pure electric power in city traffic. That means a massive jump in fuel efficiency.
You know, beyond all the technology, 2026 is also a year of some incredible stories. We're seeing some real high-stakes drama unfold, as legendary names from the past are reborn and ambitious new challengers arrive to take on the established kings of the road.
And that brings us to what might be the most anticipated showdown in the entire Indian auto market, the battle for the full-size SUV crown.
For years, the Toyota Fortuner has been the undisputed king of this segment. It's a symbol of power, of status. The next generation looks like it's going to double down on that legacy, adding a modern, mild hybrid system and even more luxury to really solidify its rule.
But for the first time, a really serious contender is stepping into the ring. The Kia Sorento is planning to attack the Fortuner on two key fronts. First, comfort. It uses a more modern, car-like chassis, which should mean a way smoother ride than the Fortuner's rugged frame. And second, price, by being assembled right here in India. This isn't just competition, it's a direct shot at the throne.
And speaking of drama, an icon is coming back. The Renault Duster, the car that, you could argue, created the whole compact SUV craze in India, is making its much-anticipated comeback. It's returning with bold new styling and modern hybrid power, and it's aiming to recapture that magic that made it a legend in the first place.
Okay, so we've talked about all these launches, all this tech, these epic rivalries, but what does this revolution really mean for you, the person who's actually going to be buying one of these cars? So, what does this all boil down to? Well, the key takeaway is simple. This massive competition is a huge win for you, the buyer. You're going to have more choice than ever before. Advanced tech is becoming standard, not some luxury add-on. And hybrids? They offer a really smart bridge to better fuel efficiency. The only little catch is, as cars get packed with more stuff, you should probably be prepared for those top-end prices to stretch just a little bit higher.
Ultimately, this explosion of new models and technologies makes 2026 the year of the buyer. It's empowering you with more options than any Indian car buyer has ever had before, leaving you with one very exciting and very personal question to answer for yourself.
All right, let's talk about 2026. Because if you're even thinking about a new car, next year is going to be absolutely massive for the Indian auto industry. We're talking about a huge wave of new cars hitting the roads. So, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down. What's coming, who's launching it, and why it's a total game changer for you, the car buyer.
So just how big is massive? Well, think about this. We're expecting more than 35 new models to launch in 2026. And this isn't just a bunch of the same old thing. No way. This wave covers everything. We're talking petrol, diesel, hybrids, and of course, a huge push into electric. It's literally the full spectrum.
Okay, so with all these launches happening, you start to see a few key patterns, right? So what's actually driving this incredible boom? Well, we've broken it down into three huge trends that are completely reshaping the market. First, the one type of car everyone seems to want. Second, the tech that's finally going mainstream. And third, how the old favorites are fighting back to stay relevant.
So first up, let's get into the absolute juggernaut of the Indian market, the SUV. I mean, let's be real. This isn't a trend anymore. It's a total takeover. And believe me, in 2026, its grip on the market is only going to get stronger.
And look, when we say SUV, we're not just talking about one kind of vehicle. The market is exploding with options across the entire spectrum. In 2026, you're going to see everything from those stylish, compact crossovers that are perfect for zipping around the city, all the way up to massive premium seven-seaters like the Kia Sorento. And for the adventurers out there, yep, you've got rugged, hardcore off-roaders like the next-gen Toyota Fortuner. Seriously, there is an SUV coming for pretty much every single person.
And here's the cool part. This isn't all happening at once. The excitement is going to be spread out all year long. The year kicks off with a bang in January, with the grand comeback of the legendary Renault Duster. Then, by the middle of the year, hold on, because Toyota is planning a full-on SUV blitz, bringing in heavy hitters like the RAV4. Fast forward to November, and Kia stepping into the premium ring with the Sorento. And to cap it all off, the year ends with the one everyone's waiting for, the next-generation Toyota Fortuner. It's just going to be a non-stop battle all year.
Now, if you put these three key rivals head-to-head, you really see how differently they're all playing the game.
On one hand, you've got the Renault Duster, right? It's coming back with that tough, rugged appeal and a price that's really going to shake things up. Then you have the Kia Sorento, which is aiming higher for that premium 7-seater crowd with both diesel and hybrid power. And then there's a Toyota RAV4. This thing's a global bestseller and it's bringing its famous strong hybrid tech and all-wheel drive to the fight. 3 cars, 1 segment, totally different approaches.
All right, let's move on to our second huge trend. And honestly, this might be the biggest one of all. We're talking about the electric tipping point. 2026 is shaping up to be the year that EVs in India go from being a niche product for early adopters to a real mainstream choice for everyone.
And I mean, the shift here is just dramatic. Think about it. In the past, what did we think of EVs? They were expensive, there were hardly any options, and everyone was worried about range anxiety, right? Well, 2026 is where that story completely changes. We're about to see a flood of affordable, mass-market EVs from big names like Tata and Maruti. And the biggest deal? That 500-kilometer range is becoming the new normal, which basically kills the whole range anxiety argument for most people's daily drives.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Look at the numbers for these upcoming cars. You've got the Tata Sierra EV and the Maruti e-Vitara. Both of them are aiming for that magic 500-kilometer mark. That's huge. And even a more compact option like the Kia Cyrus EV is expected to give you a super practical 370 kilometers. This isn't just a future dream anymore. This is the new reality for EVs in India.
And it's not just the EV-focused companies making moves. The legacy giants are going all in. I mean, this quote about the Toyota bZ4X, it really says it all. For a company like Toyota, famous for its rock-solid reliability and hybrid tech, to come out with their first dedicated electric SUV for India, well, that's a massive statement. It signals a real, fundamental shift towards a fully electric future for them. They're not just dipping their toes in the water, they're diving in.
Okay, on to our third and final big trend. This one's all about how the old guard is fighting back. With all this new competition flooding the market, the established bestsellers, the cars we all know, they can't just sit back and relax. They are being forced to step up their game, and that means we're seeing some really impressive updates and facelifts.
A perfect example of this? Let's look at the upcoming Volkswagen Taycan facelift. And we're not talking about just a few new stickers and some chrome bits. No, this is a serious upgrade. It's expected to get a panoramic sunroof, a slick new 8-speed automatic transmission, a bigger digital display, and, get this, a potential segment-first rear seat massage function. I mean, wow, these are the kinds of features they're adding specifically to take on all the new competition.
And you know what? You start to see a clear formula, like a playbook for these 2026 updates. Step 1, bolder styling. You gotta have new lights, new grills, something to make it look fresh. Step 2, bigger screens. The infotainment and driver displays just keep getting larger. Step 3, way more safety tech. Those advanced driver assistance systems, or ADAS, are becoming super common now. And Step 4, more comfort. Features like ventilated seats and big sunroofs, stuff that used to be only in luxury cars, are now trickling down to everyone.
So, after all that, what are the big takeaways for 2026? Let's boil it down. First, the SUV is still king, and you're gonna have more choices than you've ever had before. Second, EVs are for everyone now. That shift is real, and they're finally accessible. Third, cool tech isn't just a nice-to-have anymore, it's pretty much standard. And finally, and this is the best part, all this fierce competition, it just means we get better cars with more features for our money. It's a great time to be a buyer.
And that really brings us to the final most interesting point. For the very first time in India, we're going to have a truly mature market for every single way to power a car. You've got petrol, you've got amazing strong hybrids, and you've got long-range EVs all hitting their peak at the exact same time. So the choice you have to make in 2026, it's not just about what brand to pick or which model looks best. The question is much, much bigger than that. It's about how you want to drive into the future. And that is a pretty exciting choice to have.